As we get closer to the release of Disney's live-action remake of Snow White, it's pretty clear that the studio that has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in this project is desperate to find new ways to try to minimize the damage caused by its lead star, Rachel Zegler. And their latest effort is an article in Spanish in a special edition of Vogue that's made for Mexico and Latin America. In this video, we're going to go over the translated version of this article to see exactly what Disney and Zegler are trying to spin here, and if it even works. For starters, the article is called Rachel Zegler on Playing Snow White. I know where I've been, I represent it in my storytelling, and I carry it in my heart every day. Now, I'm going to read this article, but also not waste your time. There is a lot of fluff here, but there are some interesting sentences here that we should really focus on. Once upon a time, there was an actress with Colombian roots. She grew up in Clifton, New Jersey, singing at weddings in her community parish. I would have really enjoyed singing at people's weddings for the rest of my life, she tells me one morning when she looks relaxed, wearing comfortable clothes and not a hint of makeup. Now, what's going on here is, I think they're really going for, "Aw, shucks, I'm just your everyday girl." Not really mentioning that she's only half Colombian, and at the same time she grew up wealthy. Those are things that are kind of being swept under the carpet here. Rachel Zegler speaks fondly of where she comes from because it is intrinsically linked to her calling. Musical theater. I was so grateful that people would even want to see me in new plays, but nothing really worked out until West Side Story came along. Interestingly, they take time to explain here that in 1957, the original movie didn't actually feature many Puerto Rican actors or actresses, so Spielberg really wanted to correct that. The only problem is, Rachel Zegler is Colombian, and she's not Puerto Rican, but never mind. Notice these pictures also. In Latin America, it is considered very important that women look a certain way, and I think that they're really trying to cater to that. This is very kind of everyday, down-to-earth, naughty girl that they're going for. I personally don't really buy it. I don't think this look really suits Rachel Zegler, but she's going all in for this. Then there's a part where she's saying that there's so much going on with her career that she can't tell anybody about. I think that after this movie, I'm not sure a lot is going to be going on with her movie career, but we'll see. After making a grand entrance into Hollywood with West Side Story, which earned her a Golden Globe, yes, and also flopped, Rachel Zegler became an attractive personality for large-scale productions. In 2023 came projects such as Shazam 2. Yeah, that movie failed, so again, another failure. And The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, another movie that lost money, not to mention that Y2K that they don't even mention in this article, that came out recently and only made about $4 million at the box office, which is considered a complete and utter disaster. The adaptation of Disney's First Princess has been the subject of much discussion on social media. Here they're going to address some of the problems that this movie has been having and reframe that narrative for you. Much has changed for Zegler since that red carpet at the 2022 D23 Expo when reporters asked about the spin that would be given to the story that is almost 90 years old. The actress was criticized for responding that this time Snow White
is dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be,
as well as implying that the prince's behavior was
weird.
Now, she is reflective when asked about what she wants the audience to really perceive about this version. Now, this is very important because that interview has done a lot of damage for this movie, and they know that they have to address that. So what does Rachel Zegler have to say now? It's really important for audiences to know that Disney has found this beautiful, delicate balance between taking the animated classic that everyone knows and loves from 1937 and at the same time introducing it to this new generation. Wow, that's a real kind of interesting statement that obviously was written for her and given for her to say. I'm sure that's not what she would have said, but let's go on. Her superpower is her heart. There's no supernatural power that Snow White possesses beyond her love for humanity. For all living creatures and her fundamental belief that there's goodness in everything, that's something that I really think the world could use more of. I mean, considering that she called half of all the population in America awful, terrible people, plus other divisive politics that she's involved herself in, and also trying to cancel other people online. It's really strange that she's taking this approach, but doesn't surprise me. Rachel is no stranger to the negative feedback that more visceral audiences have had about the film, but she reflects on this wisely. Wisely according to who? I interpret people's feelings about this film as passion for it, and what an honor to be able to be a part of something that people are so passionate about. We're not always going to have the same feelings as everyone around us, and all we can do is give our best. Again, she didn't write this. Somebody gave her a piece of paper and she's reading it. She absolutely doesn't believe that. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems here, that I think that at this point, people just don't believe her. If there's one thing this adaptation will stand for, it's the actress's work, as she's had a dedicated relationship with this character since 2022 when filming, and later in 2024, she met up with her again to re-record some scenes. She basically refilmed the movie over and over again, and this movie is an absolute disaster. Some of it is because of the whole Peter Dinklage Little People fiasco that they ended up doing CGI dwarves, and the other thing is that she herself is just a PR nightmare. It's a great period of metamorphosis. Thinking about who I was when I auditioned and who I am now, it's incredible. She's matured. She said some things then, they were a bit childish. Now she's in a different place with herself. And more pictures, she is now going for the sexy Latina woman. That's what she's going for. Disney probably think to themselves, we probably don't have the American audience. Maybe some people that speak Spanish outside of America will like this movie. Maybe that's what they're going for now. Rachel Zegler was born in 2001. Rachel liked Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She had brown hair and it was hard to find somebody who looked like us in these type of movies. This is sort of a strange way of going into that whole representation thing. You don't think about it directly when you grow up being a Disney girl, as Zegler says, but we seek to see ourselves reflected in the products we consume because that's how we connect with them. That an actress with Colombian roots plays the princess who represents the genesis of Disney as we know it is important. Now I see what a beautiful experience it was for little black girls around the world to see Halle Bailey play Ariel in The Little Mermaid, she says excitedly. This is all Disney spin. That Little Mermaid movie lost a lot of money. And with all of its losses, I think that, as opposed to Zegler, most people would agree that Halle Bailey at least seemed like a very nice person. So even though the movie wasn't well received, or Disney's divisive identity politics surrounding it, I don't think that people really took it out on the actress herself because I think that she seems like a talented and likable young lady. The same can't be said about Rachel Zegler. No matter how hard Disney have been trying to tie these two together, they are not one and the same. There's a special solemnity when we talk about her Latinx background. Stop trying to make Latinx a thing. It's not a thing. As a descendant of immigrants, Rachel knows the feeling of navigating the industry, defending her sense of belonging. I understand that the conversation comes about that the community doesn't want to be seen as a monolith, but the reality of being Latinx and working in this industry is that we try to represent the entire diaspora. I know where I've been, I represent it in my narrative, and I carry it in my heart every day. No one can ever tell me that it's not a part of me. This article is very much a smokescreen. It's sort of a desperate attempt to try to lure Latin American audiences to go see the film, feeling some kind of connection with Zegler. In my humble opinion, I don't think that they like her either. I don't think that they think that she's authentic. I don't think that they will accept her as some great representative for them. I think that the way she looks to us, she probably looks to them as well. That's just my instinct. And just to end it off with good measure, she also says, I hope that through my own narrative in my films, I can also show the world what I believe in. Oh, we know what you believe in. The fact that West Side Story was my first film project and there was a story about migration from Puerto Rico to New York. You're not from Puerto Rico, neither were any of your relatives, but okay. I think that was a statement of intent more than anything else. For now, she wishes to do everything I can to work with more women because I think it makes an incredible difference in film production. Unlike a fairy tale, I can't write end here because this is just the beginning. Yeah, considering the type of box office tracking this Snow White movie has, I don't know if it's just the beginning. I personally don't really know who's going to go see this movie, and the amount of money that Disney have poured into it until now, they have to make probably over $1 billion at the box office worldwide just to even start talking about breaking even. At least that's what I think. And I really don't see that happening. And after that, they can try to spin whatever they want, but the movie will either make money or it won't make money. And if you enjoy my analysis here and want to receive these kind of exclusive breaking news updates as they happen, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you always know what's going on before anybody else. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thank you, and good day.